Okay, so this is my take on the concept of dosha. Uh, I noticed that when people from India are asked what is dosha, they tend to talk about it in sort of a negative way, that it deals with imbalance, the tendency for things to go into imbalance. And that's very similar to the concept in modern science, in chemistry in particular, of the idea of entropy. Entropy, that things tend towards entropy. There's something called the second law of thermodynamics in chemistry, which says if you leave a system to its own devices, it will move towards more entropy, which means more disorder. Okay, so there's a natural tendency for things to move, to expand and move into a field of disorder. So I find this most appealing, with, if you want to call it appealing, about the concept dosha that's very similar to this concept of entropy in modern science. And how does the lens of dosha compare to uh, how modern medicine deals with understanding of physiology? Well, modern medicine tends to look at physiology as a fully expressed uh, creation. Right? It describes anatomy in great detail. It goes through, it's described function in great detail. Modern medicine knows quite a bit about how the body functions and what it looks like. Um, and if there is, and it knows about imbalances, it knows about how things get out of kilter. And it talks about, if you want healthier life, then you eat better, you exercise more, and so forth. But modern medicine deals with problems on the level of the problems themselves. Okay. And it's a very difficult thing to try to deal with. The idea of dosha is something more fundamental. Dosha deals with something that's deep within, closer to that unified field of consciousness that's deep within. And the unified field, Maharishi used to describe as the field of perfect orderliness. It's the opposite of, of entropy. It's completely orderly. So what we want to do is introduce that field of orderliness into our physiology, into our mind, into our body. Okay, that's the whole idea of Maharishi Ayurveda, and also in terms of transcendental meditation. That's what we're doing when somebody's practicing it. Is that they're contacting that field of orderliness and bringing that orderliness into the physiology, the mind and body. So obviously, modern medicine's dealing with the more fully expressed level and deals with how to balance it on that level. And Maharishi talks about the principle of the second element. If we want to produce orderliness on this level of more expressed level, we deal with a more fundamental level. We water the root to enjoy the fruit. All those basic ideas. Okay, bring orderliness in from a deeper level, and I think that's what Maharishi Ayurveda is doing. How is this going to benefit myself and my family? Obviously, we can practice transcendental meditation. We can take our pulse. We can do various things, maybe watch our diet. All of those things will help to balance the pulse, reduce entropy, introduce orderliness into our physiology, because we're dealing with the level of consciousness. And how will this enhance my practice as a future Maharishi Veda practitioner? I am not a medical doctor. I can't um, diagnose disease, none of those things. But as a teacher of TM, I'm already introducing the idea of consciousness as a way of introducing orderliness into our mind and body. As a Maharishi Ayurveda practitioner, I'll be doing exactly the same thing using different modalities. Okay, so that's it. That's my take on dosha.